Big shot, deep shot, Hendon Hooker.
Hendon, you come from a football family, specifically a quarterback family. But when did you start playing football?
When I was 3 years old, I started playing flag football with the local YMCA with a couple of my friends who also started playing football at an early age.
Was it because that's what you wanted to do, or was your dad a bigger influence? How did you get signed up and just get started?
Yeah, my mom always told me when I was very young that the only way I would calm down is if they put on my dad's football highlights. Just fell in love with the game at an early age.
You would be like throwing a tantrum or something and they would turn on your dad's highlights.
Yeah, and then everything would be copacetic.
Do you know why?
I have no idea. Really just the love of the game really came natural. Till this day, it's always just relaxing just to be out on the field and throwing the ball.
I'm sure your dad taught you a lot growing up and had a lot to say. What was his influence like?
He's my biggest influencer, my biggest critic, my biggest fan. You know, he really just kind of gave me the knowledge, and I just kind of hit the ground running.
You started playing flag football, obviously went into tackle football. When did you start developing into a quarterback?
I played quarterback my whole life. The only other position I've played has been like outside linebacker when I was at a young age.
And you could run too,
yeah,
I'm
run
sure.
A little bit. Yeah. Kind of just being a complete quarterback, in my eyes, was doing everything at a high level. So just having those attributes was very beneficial.
Here's Hooker. Goes right, fires long. Man open in the end zone. Javante Payton, he's got it. Tennessee touchdown. And Hooker rolls right. Looked like he might run the ball. Pulls up, throws the bomb.
So when you got into high school, what was that transition like for you?
It was kind of difficult because I didn't know where I was going to go to school. At that time, I thought I was going to be a basketball player coming out of middle school. I enrolled into school kind of late, so I couldn't play the first 2 games. And I remember Emmanuel Mosley was kind of giving me a tour around the school and giving me the ins and outs of the offense because he was the starting quarterback at the time in his senior year. That was just amazing just to sit behind him and watch him work his magic. He was incredibly fast and incredibly smart.
I feel like some of those basketball moves still come out on the field now.
They definitely do. Naturally, I just move like a basketball player. I really can't help it, but it definitely helps.
You kind of had a little bit of a health scare when you were at Virginia Tech with your heart. What happened there?
Yeah, I contracted COVID-19, and they were telling me, okay, we're gonna go get your heart checked. That's a procedure you do after you're done going through the quarantine process. So I went and got my heart checked, and they told me that they saw something was wrong and that I might have to have open heart surgery, and I was just in awe. I was like, no way, it's crazy. I had to go get a scope where they go in and kind of just look at your heart from the inside. And they said nothing was wrong. And the doctor asked me when I came out of the medicine, when I woke from the medicine, he was like, are you gonna play this week? I was like, no, I haven't practiced. It really just opened my eyes just to see how blessed I am. Really just kind of gave me a thought that I shouldn't put anything other than God and my family before football, just because I put in so much work and I have so much love for the game that I shouldn't take it for granted.
Once you got to Tennessee, you immediately went through changes. There was a change in the coaching staff. And for someone who's a transfer on a team, was that difficult at all?
Not really. I was already coming in with the unknown, and it was a change for me anyway. So I was just gonna hit the ground running and work hard and keep that same mindset that I had coming in.
What did you think when they brought in Coach Heupel? And he's a former quarterback. He was a very successful quarterback. So what did you think about that?
I thought it was great. I've known Coach Hype for a little minute now. It's really just a blessing just to be here and everything just come together as it has.
When Coach Hype came in, he obviously has a very explosive and fast offense. So what were your thoughts when you found out, okay, this is the type of offense I'm going to be playing?
It was really exciting to me, and also just a chance to chunk the ball around the field and get it to the playmakers. I was really eager to do that.
Handoff, keeps it, spins to the 15, now to the 10, down to the 5. Hooker cuts his way into the checkerboards. Touchdown, Tennessee. Hendon Hooker, what a run.
we still have a tough schedule to go the rest of the season. So how are you staying motivated, but also how are you leading this football team?
Yeah, by just taking it one day at a time and 1 week at a time. Every individual game is an individual season. We'll get to those other guys in weeks to come.